Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Venugopal, you want to read the purport?
Yeah, Prabhu, I'm reading it.
Yeah. I can share, okay?
No, I have it.
Okay.
The word Sujami is significant herein. Sujami cannot be used in the sense of creation because, according to the previous verse, there is no creation of the Lord's form or body, since all of the forms are eternally existent. Therefore, Sujami means that the Lord manifests himself as he is. Although the Lord appears on schedule, namely at the end of the Dwapara Yuga of the 28th millennium of the 7th Manu in one day of Brahma, he has no obligation to adhere to such rules and regulations because he is completely free to act in many ways at his will. He therefore appears by his own will whenever there is a predominance of irreligiosity and a disappearance of true religion. Principles of religion are laid down in the Vedas, and any discrepancy in the matter of properly executing the rules of the Vedas makes one irreligious. In the Bhagavatam, it is stated that such principles are the laws of the Lord. Only the Lord can manufacture a system of religion. The Vedas are also accepted as originally spoken by the Lord himself to Brahma from within his heart. Therefore, the principles of Dharma or religion are the direct orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. These principles are clearly indicated throughout the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of the Vedas is to establish such principles under the order of the Supreme Lord, and the Lord directly orders at the end of the Gita that the highest principle of religion is to surrender unto Him only and nothing more. The Vedic principles push one towards complete surrender unto Him, and whenever such principles are disturbed by the demoniac, the Lord appears. From the Bhagavatam, we understand that Lord Buddha is the incarnation of Krishna who appeared when materialism was rampant and materialists were using the pretext of the authority of the Vedas. Although there are certain restrictive rules and regulations regarding animal sacrifice for particular purpose in Vedas, people of demonic tendency still look to animal sacrifice without reference to the Vedic principles. Lord Buddha appeared in order to stop this nonsense and to establish the Vedic principles of non-violence. Therefore, each and every avatara or incarnation of the Lord has a particular mission, and they are all described in revealed chapters, revealed scriptures. No one should be accepted as an avatara unless he is referred to by scriptures. It is not a fact that the Lord appears only on Indian soil. He can manifest himself anywhere and everywhere, and whenever he desires to appear. In each and every incarnation, he speaks as much about religion as can be understood by the particular people under their particular circumstances. But the mission is the same, to lead people to God consciousness and obedience to the principles of religion. Sometimes he descends personally, and sometimes he sends his bona fide representative in the form of his son or servant or himself in some disguised form. The principles of the Bhagavad Gita were spoken to Arjuna and, for that matter, to other highly elevated persons because he was highly advanced compared to ordinary persons in other parts of the world. 2 plus 2 equals 4 is a mathematical principle that is true in the beginner's arithmetic class and in the advanced class as well. Still, there are higher and lower mathematics in all incarnations of the Lord. Therefore, the same principles are taught, but they appear to be higher and lower in varied circumstances. The higher principles of religion begin with the acceptance of the four orders and the four statuses of social life, as will be explained later. The whole purpose of this mission of incarnations is to arouse Krishna consciousness everywhere. Such consciousness is manifest and non manifest only under different circumstances.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Venugopal. So here Krishna is telling that whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, at that time I designed myself. So this is the first time Krishna is telling about his appearance in the material world and why he appears. So what are the two reasons? One is whenever there is a decline in the religious practice and a predominant rise of irreligion. In one sense, both are same, right? When they are same, yes and no. Okay, I'll tell you what's the difference between these two. If you read the English sentence, they look like the same. Whenever there's a decline in religious practice and predominant rise of irreligion. So what is religion? First of all, the word religion. What is the meaning? What is the Sanskrit word for that? Dharma. So what is dharma? Righteousness. Okay. Prescribed duties. Yeah. What are the different types of dharmas are there? Prescribed duties is one of the types of dharmas. Swadharma. Very good. Yeah.
Paradharma.
Yeah. Yeah. Sanatan Dharma or Paradharma. Yeah. So they can be classified into three categories. Varnashrama Dharma, which is prescribed duties. And then there is Sadhana Dharma, like a transitional Dharma. Because Varnashrama Dharma, first I'll name the three categories and I'll explain. Varnashrama Dharma, Sadhana Dharma or transitional Dharma, and then Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma, okay, or Bhakti Dharma, Swadharma, all those things, same. So, she's a celebrity. Oh, wow, they both became friends now.
Yeah, invited later.
Dhruv and Neeti.
Niti is also means dharma.
Yeah, Neeti means Dharma. And Dhruv's mother's name is Suniti. Suniti. Yeah, very nice. So, Varnashrama Dharma is the prescribed duties. Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra. Performing or prescribed duties in one of those Varnas and also following one of those ashramas. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. Okay, 4 ashramas. But that itself will not take us to spiritual world. If somebody is just sincerely following Varnashrama Dharma, that itself is not sufficient. It will not take us to spiritual world. That's why while performing our prescribed duties in the Varnashrama, in one of the Varnas and one of the Ashramas, we have to elevate ourselves and practice bhakti, sadhana bhakti. We have to elevate ourselves and practice sadhana bhakti, just like what we are all doing. We are all doing our prescribed duties. We are all grihasthas. There are no sannyasis here, right? There are no brahmacharis or sannyasis. So we are all following Varna and Ashrama, and we are all practicing bhakti. Okay, that's why we are all called sadhakas. Sometimes we can also be called as sadhus. Okay, sadhu is a person who is doing sadhana. Generally, sadhu, the word sadhu is associated with a pure devotee, right? Like saintly person. That is true, but more precisely, sadhu means a person who is practicing sadhana. Okay, sadhaka bhakta is also called sadhu. So that way we are all sadhus. So that is called sadhana dharma or transitional dharma. Transitional dharma means it's a transition between Varnashrama Dharma and the Paradharma, the Bhagavad Dharma or Bhakti Dharma, Swadharma. Okay, so the Paradharma, Swadharma, that we all know. So what is our Swadharma?
To practice bhakti.
No, Swadharma, our Swadharma. To practice Bhakti is that transitional Dharma, the sadhana Dharma. But what is our Swadharma?
So whatever occupation we are doing.
You're going to the lowest stage.
So whatever wherever we are in our Varnashram, to do that. Like if we are Kshatriya, so to practice Kshatriya.
That's what he's also saying, Varnashrama Dharma. No. Swadharma. Swadharma means our true nature. What is our true nature? To serve Krishna. Yes, very good. Archana, see, Jagdish. The Swadharma of sugar is sweetness. The Swadharma of Jiva is to serve Krishna. Swadharma means our true nature, our original nature.
So how does it is different from sadhana? So that is what we do in sadhana.
Sadhana is the means. Sadhana is the means to.
Sadhana dharma, that's you said. Second type of dharma is sadhana dharma.
Yeah, sadhana
so
dharma.
How is different from swadharma?
Sadhana dharma is the means to achieve perfection and eventually attain our swadharma.
Sadhana is the process.
How is it dharma then?
Sadhana is the process.
So it is not
And swadharma is the goal.
So second should be swadharma, not sadhana dharma. Sadhana dharma is a process, sadhana is a process.
Yeah.
You said. But here you are describing three types of dharma.
Mhm.
You said one is one ashrama, second is sadhana dharma you said.
Yeah.
And third is Bhagavad dharma.
Bhagavad dharma, swadharma, paradharma.
It's
Same
third.
name, same name.
Third.
Yeah, third one.
But sadhana dharma you said is a process.
Yeah.
So how is it dharma? It's a process.
I think sadhana is a process and inviting them.
It's a process, but you follow this dharma, bhakti marga, basically. You follow this marga. If you are following this marga, that means you are following dharma. You're trying to follow the dharma.
So Bhagavad dharma is swadharma.
Yes. Bhagavad dharma, swadharma, paradharma. They all mean one and the same. Yeah. Okay. So Krishna is saying that whenever there is a decline in religious practice, that means when he sees that when people are not practicing sadhana dharma, when people are not practicing sadhana dharma, they are not following a bhakti marga. They are not following bhakti marga to elevate themselves to spiritual world. That is one. Or a predominant rise of irreligion. Predominant rise of irreligion means when the demoniac people are going rampant. Okay. See, the first category is not talking about demoniac people. They may be following Varnashrama Dharma or they may be following Karma Kanda. Okay. They may be following either Karma Kanda or Karma Yoga, but they are not necessarily devotees. They are not necessarily practicing bhakti. They are good people, but they are not practicing bhakti. Second category is they are not good people. They are demons. So when there is a rise of the activities performed by demons, then he appears. In these two cases, one is to help elevate the good people in bhakti. Other one is when there are when the demoniac people are going rampant with their demoniac activities, Krishna appears to kill them. Okay, so these are the two reasons why he appears.
Both the reasons should happen right together. That's what.
Yeah, when he appears, he performs both tasks. Yeah. So he helps the good people to get attracted to Krishna. At the same time, he kills the bad people. Yeah. So when Krishna appears with different purposes in different times. In every millennia, he appears with a different purpose. So Krishna's avatars can be classified into 5 or 6 categories. Okay. The first one is Purushavatas, where Krishna is expanded into Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. 3 categories. Okay. Karanodakshaya Vishnu is Mahavishnu, lying down in the Kajal ocean, and with every inhale, with every exhale, unlimited number of Brahmandas are created. And with every inhale, all those Brahmandas are annihilated and they are hibernated in Mahavishnu's body. Okay. So this is for the Karanodakshaya Vishnu or Mahavishnu. The purpose of that avatara is to create and annihilate. To create and annihilate. And then the second one, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is he is the super soul in every universe. Karanodakshaya Vishnu, the first one, with every exhale, the Brahmandas, the universes are created. Now there has to be somebody to maintain those universes, right? So the same Vishnu enters into each one of those universes as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Okay? He's like a super soul for that universe who maintains that universe. And then Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is he is that form of Vishnu who enters into each and every atom. Each and every atom. And he resides in both living and non-living things. Like for example, all of us, we have super soul within our heart. So that is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Okay? Not only in the living entities, but Krishna also, for example, this wood is made up of so many atoms, right? Krishna is physically present in the form of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu in each and every single atom. Each and every single atom he is present. Okay? The matter cannot exist without Krishna in the form of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Okay? So these are the 3 forms of Vishnu. What are those? Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Okay? If you remember the names in the same order, then it will become easy to remember the purpose of those names also, the purpose of those avatars also. Otherwise you will be confused. So, Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Okay? So this is one category. What is this category? Purushavatas. Okay? Next category is Leelavataras. Leelavataras are those avatars or incarnations of Krishna where Krishna performs some leelas, some pastimes. All those famous avatars, like Dashavataras. Okay? Matsya Kurma, Varaha, Vamana, Narsimha, Rama, Krishna, Balarama. All these Dashavataras are Leelavataras. In each of those avatars, Krishna performs a different Leela. Okay? Then we have Guna Avataras. We have 3 modes, 3 gunas, right? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So Krishna appears in these 3 modes, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. So Vishnu is in the mode of goodness, Brahma is in the mode of passion, Shiva is in the mode of ignorance. Okay? So Krishna appears in these 3 modes and this is called Gunavataras. Based on the guna, he takes either the form of Vishnu, Brahma or Shiva. Okay?
Vishnu is a mode of goodness.
Vishnu, mode of goodness.
And Brahma, mode of passion.
Mode of passion.
Because he has to create.
He has to create. And Vishnu, the mode of goodness, because he has to maintain. Yeah. And Shiva, mode of ignorance, he has to destroy, annihilate. This is Gunavatara. So we discussed Purushavatara, Leelavatara and Gunavatara. And then there is Shaktya-vesha avatara. Shakti Avesha Avatara. Shakti means like energy, empowerment. So Krishna empowers somebody. Krishna empowers somebody with some specific Shakti. With some specific Shakti. For example, Vyasadeva is an incarnation of Krishna only. So Krishna empowered Vyasadeva with some Shakti. What is that Shakti? The Shakti
Right.
to write Vedas, to compile Vedas. Okay? So another example of Shaktya-vesha avatara is Jesus Christ. Okay? Or Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is also Shaktya-vesha avatara. He is empowered to spread bhakti. He is empowered to spread bhakti. So like that, different souls are given, or different incarnations are given different Shakti, different empowerment. Okay?
So this is Shakti.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji,
One second. Madhuri is asking something. Yeah.
So these come under after Lila Avataras, these come under Shakti Avataras.
Shakti Avesha Avatara. Yeah. For example, Buddha Avatara is also called Shakti Avesha Avatara. Okay. Because when Buddha appeared, did he perform any Leela?
I think there was a lot of violence in
Yeah. But he did not perform any Leela. Okay. Like Krishna, Balarama, Rama, Nrsimha, there was no Leela. Okay. The purpose is different. So he is a empowered avatara. Shakti Avesha Avatara. And we'll discuss about that non-violence thing in a bit. Yes, Srividya.
Prabhuji, do demigods fall under Shaktya Veshavatara? They are also empowered with some powers, right, Prabhuji? Demigods and devatas.
No, they are not Shakti Avesha Avatara. They are jivas.
Okay, Prabhuji. They have some work to do, but they are not empowered, like they are not having any purpose or something like that.
Yeah, they are jivas. Just like let's say somebody, let's say Jagadish. If he practices, if he does a lot of pious activities, he can elevate himself to Swargaloka, and then he can become one of the demigods. He can become Indra. If he does 1,000 Ashwamedha Yajnas, he can become Indra. So that is different from, for example, Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is a directly an incarnation of Krishna.
Okay.
Okay.
So question. So in 4.7 say when decline religion, right? I reappear, right?
Yeah.
It says why he is only appearing in India, not in other countries. So there are so many countries.
That is mentioned in the purport here.
Yeah, it's mentioned.
Yeah, it's mentioned. We'll discuss that.
Different places, different regions. It's written.
Yeah, we'll discuss that. So we discussed Purushavatara, Gunavatara, Leelavatara, Shaktyaaveshavatara, and then there is one category called Channa Avatara, hidden. The word Channa in Sanskrit means hidden, hidden incarnation, hidden incarnation. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a hidden incarnation. He appeared as a devotee, like a normal person. He appeared as a devotee. He did not reveal, or he did not perform any, he did not reveal himself as God. He did not perform any leelas. And the prominence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not in the scale of Krishna or Rama or Nrsimha and so on. Okay, only few, few sectarian people know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why it is hidden avatara. So 5 categories. Trying to remember if there is any other category.
You said 7.
Archavatara.
5 or 6, huh?
Archavatara, the temple deities.
No, that's not avatara. So Krishna comes and resides in the Archa Vigraha form, but that's not avatara.
Books also, these are also Avtara, right? Bhagavatam.
Yeah, literary incarnation. Yeah.
But
It's not a physical form of Krishna. See, the Nama also can be an incarnation of Krishna. Nama, books, they are also incarnations of Krishna, but they are not physical forms. So we're talking about physical forms. Um, uh, yeah, and before all this, there is a Chaturvyuha expansion of Krishna. Okay, Chaturvyuha expansion of Krishna. That is the very first expansion before all this, before Gunavataras, before Purushavasaras, before Leela, all these things. The very first time, Krishna expands himself into 4 avatars. What are those 4 avatars? Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Sankarshana. Chaturvyuha avatars. Okay. Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. These 4. Okay.
What are the examples of Gunavatar? I think I missed.
Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Yeah. Depending on mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Yeah.
This Pradyumna is different from the Pradyumna in Mahabharata.
Yeah. That's different. Okay. And so so if you look at the different details of these avatars, where they are mentioned by whom. So Chaturvyuha, the first Chaturvyuha, the quadruple expansion of Krishna, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, that is mentioned in the Vedas by Vyasadeva. And then the same Vyasadeva talks about Dashavatara, the 10 prominent avatars. And the same Vyasadeva in Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam, he describes 26 important incarnations, including the 10 Dashavataras plus 16 more. Okay. For example, Kalki Avatara. Now, Kalki is also in the Dashavataras, right? Yeah. Trying to remember one of the avatars which is not in the Dashavatara but in the 26. Let's go to Narsimha is there in the Dashavatara.
Dattatreya.
No, not Dattatreya. Let me go to Bhagavatam.
I think if Balarama is considered Dasavatara, then Buddha might come under the 16.
No. Balarama is there, Buddha is there separately in Dashavatara. Yeah. So.
Vyasadeva himself is one of them.
Which is not one of the 10.
Vyasadeva, correct. Yeah, Vyasadeva. So the list of all these 26 incarnations is given in 3rd chapter of 1st canto.
Narada is also one of them.
Narada is also empowered, Shakti Avesha Avatara. Shakti Avesha Avatara. Yeah, and it is part of the 26 incarnations. Yeah.
So after Chaturvyuha, so from where these avatara come? Sankarshana?
From where?
From where all the avatara comes after Krishna expand himself into the Chaturvyuha.
Yeah.
So from which of the Chaturvyuha all the avataras come?
I think you are right. From Sankarshana expanding into Balarama, and then all other incarnations. So in third chapter of 1st canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, all these names are given. Yeah, the 7th incarnation was Yajna, 8th incarnation was King Rishabha, 11th incarnation Lord took the form of a tortoise, 12th incarnation Dhanvantari. See, Dhanvantari, these are all not part of the Dashavataras.
Tortoise is there in Dashavatara.
Tortoise is there.
You said 11th, right?
Yeah, in the Bhagavatam, the 26 list of 26, they are not in the same order as Dashavataras. Yeah, Dhanvantari is not part of Dashavataras. So like that, there are 26 incarnations, and Vyasadeva, after describing the list of all 26 incarnations, he says, Krishnastu Swayam Bhagavan, Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsa, Krishnastu Swayam Bhagavan, Indrari Vakulam Lokam, Mrugayanti Yuge Yuge. Krishna says, the source of all these incarnations is Krishna, who is Swayam Bhagavan.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And this is maybe not related to what we are going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to take it later,
Yeah.
right? What is the difference between expansions and incarnations?
I think expansion is only that first Chaturvyuha expansion, where Krishna expanded into Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Pradyumna and Sankarshana. And then
No, even those are the three Vishnus and all those are all expansions, right?
I mean, from Sankarshana, all the other
Expansions happen.
Incarnations, we can.
Because here they talk about 26 incarnation, and here they are not talking about the three Vishnus and all. So there are some incarnations and some expansions.
Yeah.
Maybe they just develop to elevate the Dasavatara instead of they themselves becoming God, like Vyasadeva has written about God, but and to give that detail of God, maybe he himself can do it in the form of an expansion.
Because here, the Prabhupada translation, if you look at, they're all incarnations. And Krishna, Balarama, Nrsimha, these are prominent incarnations, prominent Leela avatars.
And there are so many expansions actually.
Yeah.
Not only there are so many expansions that we talk about throughout the Shastras. The three Vishnus and the four Chaturvyuhas and the Sankarshana and so many expansions, right?
Yeah.
So, and what is the difference between the expansions and the avatars?
Yeah, that we'll need to research. Yeah.
Another question.
Another question to Hari Parshad. Yeah.
But expansion needs to be permanent, right? Expansions are permanent.
They're all eternal.
They're all eternal.
But incarnations are not.
Incarnations also eternal. See, right now, it is 1248, right? So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared somewhere in some planet. Now, after 1 minute, it will become 1249, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in some other planet somewhere. Yeah, these are all eternal. Even though the Leela ended in this, Bhuloka. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela ended in this Bhuloka 500 years ago. But that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's a Nitya Leela. He is appearing in every in one of the planets all the time.
We heard that glimpse, when Sri Rama was brought from Govardhan into the Chaitanya Leela.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in Google it is written incarnation refers to a divine being taking on a human on a physical form like Jesus Christ. And expansion for describe a manifestation or a projection of a divine being without fully become something else. Like only the expansion of the body, but not fully like a human body.
So incarnation.
Okay, so incarnation is avatarana. Coming into the material world, appearing in the physical form in the material world.
And Brahma may be expansion from like Lakshmi Devi is also an expansion, Parvati Devi, like expansion of
Radharani is also expansion. Yeah, Vishnu. Vishnu we don't see coming into the material world.
Some Leela,
but Paramatma is expansion.
Paramatma is expansion, but there is no physical form. We don't see him.
But Radharani came into the physical world.
Even Vyasadeva also is
fully fledged.
Fully, she has full physical
I think incarnation should have a.
I think for Radharani it is both expansion and incarnation, both. Because Krishna, he expanded into Radharani with his internal potency. They're also both. Expansion and incarnation, both.
Srila Prabhupada, it is written. Prabhuji, you read.
Where?
It is here.
Oh, it's on Prabhupada's
it is here.
Notes?
Not there. Here it is written as a Srila Prabhupada. Here down, if you expand.
All living beings are expansions of the Supreme Lord. Yeah, so we are all his Amsha. The word incarnation is often used by Srila Prabhupada to refer to avatara, one who descends into this world. Okay, yeah. All living beings are expansions of Supreme Lord. There are two divisions, Swa Amsha and Vibhinnamsha. Swamsha means that they are part and parcel, but they are okay. So it is only showing partial notes here. I think in summary, incarnation means avatarana. The Sanskrit word for that is avatarana, one who descends into the material world. As the Google note says, in a form that we can see. In a form that we can see. Whereas Vishnu, the three types of Vishnu that we discussed, we cannot see him, right? They don't manifest in the material world. So we can consider them as expansions. So
They perform the leelas.
They say cosmic level, expansion is cosmic level, and this one is incarnation is the material.
Material level. Yeah. Yeah. Does that help?
Yeah, but I think we will still be able to find out more examples.
Yeah.
Define this statement, but still, I think
Yeah, examples we have, right? For expansions, Vishnu forms are expansions.
Yeah,
Even the Kshirodakshay form is also expansion.
For Vishnu forms, it satisfies that the cosmic expansions are expansions.
Yeah.
And anything that's in material, they are incarnations.
Incarnations.
But then there are more. I think there are. I'll come back with some more examples, but where it is the other way too. Like there are personalities which are called as avatars, but they are. How about who are in both the worlds, spiritual and like cosmic and material?
Like Radha Krishna and Balaram.
And there are more actually. Radha Krishna Balaram is there for sure. And Krishna, anyway, we don't call him avatar because he's avatari. So how about Krishna?
Now that form that is there in the spiritual world, we can consider it as expansion. And the same form, same Radharani, when she appears on
earth, she's avatar.
In Bhuloka Vrindavan, so she's avatara. So she's there simultaneously in the form of expansion and avatar.
So she is expansion and avatar.
Yeah.
So maybe avatara will disappear at some point, whereas expansion stays eternal.
No, avatara disappearing in the sense it's like sun, right?
Yeah.
Just like how the sun rises and sets. So the sun is setting here, it doesn't mean sun has left permanently, right? Sun is still visible to some people in other planets, in other parts of the planet. The avatara has ended Leela here in this Bhuloka, but the avatara is present in some other Bhuloka. Yeah.
Prabhuji, what is the meaning of the word avatar?
Avatara means to descend.
Okay, and incarnation, what is the Sanskrit term?
What is the difference between expansion and incarnation? Yeah, the same question asked here. So Prabhupada, the expansion is a direct and incarnation is indirect. Expansion.
But incarnation, Prabhu, Lord Ram is also an incarnation, right? One of the 10 avatars.
Yeah, incarnation.
So what do we mean by direct and indirect? Lord Ram is indirect?
Yeah, incarnation actually descendants, the divine entity materially reality. Incarnation is the one which performs Leela. Expansion is one performed Leela.
Yeah. And when Krishna himself comes as Krishna, it's an incarnation.
Not this Balaram, we are talking about the expansion Balaram. And there is the incarnation Balaram.
Expansion Balaram is the same Balaram. Same incarnation Balaram.
Incarnate.
So they are both same. No difference.
There is difference, right? Because that incarnation of expansion.
So this direct and indirect, I don't know. It is adding more confusion here.
But then I think
you know.
It's not like I don't.
So we have two questions.
In simple words, incarnation is something that descends. Krishna descends into the material world that we can see, whereas expansion is that does not manifest in the material world. Vyakta and Avyakta.
Shall I add more?
So, yes.
Even the Vishnu forms are called Purusha Avtaras.
Yeah, that's what we discussed.
So we know
then how come
I mean, so far we are discussing that.
For the word avatara.
Yeah.
I mean, see, the word avatara may be used just to describe the categories, Purushavatara, Leela-avatara, Guna-avatara, and so on. But it could be just expansion there. For Vishnu forms, it may be an expansion. It may not necessarily. So he's saying, we discussed the categories, right? Categories of 5 or 6 categories of avatars. There we described Purusha Avatara, right? Purusha Avatara contains only Vishnu forms. Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So if we are using the word Avatara and we are not seeing him here, why are we calling that as Avatara? So I think that Avatara name is used just to describe the groups there. So, I mean, whatever it is. In simple words, this is what we can understand. If Krishna descends into the material world, if he manifests into the material world, consider it as avatarana. Avatar, avatarana.
Maybe in Sanskrit,
Otherwise, it's a expansion.
Each word has more than one meaning, so probably here avatara, depending on the context, maybe changes the meaning of it. So in that context where we are describing different ways God can manifest, then we are describing Purusha Avatara, Guna Avatara, and other ways.
Yeah.
Whereas in here we're differentiating between expansion and Avatara, maybe the meaning of the Avatara changes a little bit. That might be.
No, the meaning of the word avatara, in Sanskrit it means to descend. To descend. So, and that is only from spiritual world to material world. That is understanding of descending. And all the Dashavataras that we know, Krishna descends into the material world. Whereas Vishnu forms, there's no manifestation, there's no Vyakta. Okay? So after these 26, yeah.
So, Prabhuji, when Krishna showed his Vishal to Arjuna,
Vishwarup.
That is material. That is material.
So what is your question?
So is that an expansion?
No. So Vishwarupa is considered as it's like a blueprint. It's like a blueprint of the universe. For example, there is a Microsoft campus. So many buildings, so many rooms. Now there is a blueprint for that, right? So in that blueprint, you can see entire Microsoft campus. If you're standing in front of building 40, you cannot see everything. You cannot see all the buildings, you cannot see all the rooms, conference rooms, everything. Whereas if you look at the blueprint of the Microsoft campus, you can see everything. Similarly, Arjuna was able to see everything in the universe. The 3 worlds, upper, middle and higher and lower. Arjuna was able to see everything that exists in the 3 worlds by standing in one place. Krishna showed everything to Arjuna, including Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield. It's like a blueprint. It's like a blueprint for the universe. Yeah. It's not an expansion. It's not an avatara. It's not an incarnation. So, yeah. Okay. So now these are just some categories. The Chaturvyuha, the different, Purusha Avatara, Leela Avatara, Guna Avatara, the Dashavatara, and the 26 incarnations that Vyasadeva described. These are only just to name a few. But what is the reality? Reality is Krishna's incarnations or expansions are unlimited. Okay? They are unlimited. They are unlimited. So, and in the material world, when Krishna appears as Krishna or Balarama, Krishna or Rama, Nrsimha in in one of these prominent avatars, Krishna appears one day in, Krishna appears in every millennium, but Krishna appears as Krishna himself in one day of Brahma. One day of Brahma.
Which is Yuga.
Huh?
Which is Yuga for us. Yuga for us. Which is Yuga for us.
One day.
No. 1 day of Brahma is 1,000 cycles of the Chatur Yuga.
1,000 cycles of
The Chatur Yuga. So Chatur Yuga is all the 4 yugas. One cycle of 4 yugas is called Chatur Yuga. And then 1,000 cycles of such Chatur Yugas or Divya Yugas is called one Kalpa. So that is 1 day of Brahma. 1 day means the 12 hours, the daytime. The daytime of Brahma is 1,000 kalpas. And then Brahma also has a night, another 1,000 kalpas. So Krishna appears in Krishna's form, just like how he appeared at the end of Dwapara Yuga. He appears like that in 1 day of Brahma. In 1 day of Brahma. Okay? And then there are Manvantara avatars actually. There is another category. Okay, so let's not add more confusion here. So it is also mentioned that in every yuga Krishna appears in a different color. White, red, yellow, and maybe I'll tell you the colors.
Rama was green, right?
White, red, and yellow. Primarily white, red, and yellow. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and then yellow is this Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Avtara. Okay, so Dwapara Yuga, that as we discussed, it only once in a day of Brahma. So barring that, excluding that category of Krishna avatar as Krishna, the other avatars of Krishna appear in white, red, and yellow. White in Satya Yuga, red in Treta Yuga, and yellow in Kali Yuga. Golden avatara. It's not Narsimha. It's not Narsimha. It's not Rama. It's not those avatars. So the avatars of white, red, and yellow. There is a shloka in Bhagavatam actually. 10.8.13. If you open this. Your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumed 3 different colors. Now this is before Dwapara Yuga, right? The Treta Yuga and Satya Yuga. So what are those different colors? White, red, and yellow. And now he has appeared in blackish color in this Dwapara Yuga. Oh, they're not talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's yellow avatara here. So, in the past, he assumed 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow. In the past means before Dwapara Yuga.
So, the boar was red? Is that?
No. So, let's look at the purport for the details. What are those different avatars in these 3 different colors? Yeah, in Satya Yuga, a white avatara appeared to Kardama Muni to establish meditation as the process of self-realization. Okay, and in Treta Yuga, red red color avatara appeared to Brahma to establish fire sacrifice as the process for self-realization. And Dwapar Yuga, Krishna appeared to Devaki and Vasudeva. And in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that means the yellow avatara is referring to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even though it is saying in the translation, it says in the past. In the past means there is the Kali Yuga is a previous Yuga for Dwapar Yuga, right? I mean, not the immediate prior, not the immediate previous, but if you are in Dwapar Yuga, let's say somebody is in Dwapar Yuga. If you ask somebody what are the previous Yugas, what will you say? You will say Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga and Kali Yuga. So that way, the yellow color refers to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. When I read the translation, it said, your son Krishna appeared in 3 different colors in the past Yugas. Now there are 3 colors. Now what are the other 3 possible Yugas there, other than Dwapar Yuga? It is Satya, Treta and Kali Yuga. Okay. So the yellow refers to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and white refers to the appearance of Krishna to Kardama Muni to establish the process of meditation. And then in Treta Yuga, red color to establish the process of Yajna, fire sacrifice, Yajna. Okay. So the point that we are trying to establish is Krishna's avatars, they are unlimited. Okay. We only know a list of few, 26 avatars maximum that we know. We don't know anything beyond that, 26. Beyond 26, we don't know. Okay. And whenever he appears, there's a purpose. For example, when Buddha appeared, what is the purpose of Buddha Avatara? To establish non-violence. Because that time people were not ready to receive bhakti. They are not ready to practice bhakti. They are all killing animals, sacrificing animals as bali. So now if you go to those kind of people and teach bhakti, they will not take it. That's why the agenda was different. The agenda of Buddha Avatara was different, to establish ahimsa. And then Matsya Avatara we discussed during Ugadi time. We discussed Matsya Avatara is to restore Vedas. Okay, and Kurma Avatara to save the earth. Yeah, and Varaha Avatara. No, that is Varaha Avatara. As a base. As a base for the mantana. Yeah. Yeah. Rama Avatara to set to set human values, moral values. Maryada Purushottama Avatara. Okay. Vamana Avatara is to
Debate sacrifice.
Sacrifice, no. I mean the story we all know, but if you put it as put it in one sentence to describe the purpose, how do we describe that?
I think he was like destroying the pride of King
Bali Maharaj. Yeah.
So nothing can be above God.
Isn't it to establish the importance or the dhan, how
Cosmic order and balance. Restoring cosmic order.
Bali Chakravarti.
But the king was a little proud.
Proud, yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I can
to kill that.
But it's not just for sacrifice. Because Bali Maharaj, he was doing what is called Atma Nivedanam, complete surrender, which is the highest form of bhakti. So sacrifice is at a much lower level. So Atmanivedanam. Yeah. Okay. Surrender, maybe to show an example of surrender, to show an example of the highest form of surrender in bhakti, Atmanivedana. Because Bali Maharaj, he offered everything to Vamandev.
I think Prabhu,
He offered himself completely to
there
Vamandev.
is no one above than Bali Maharaj if there is a list. So biggest Dani is Bali Maharaj. That's what they say. So it is showing the importance of Dan, isn't it that? Like Bali Maharaj, we always...
When we say Dan, it's mostly like charity, right? Charity, sacrifice.
For the Lord.
Yeah.
There is no one
The same
bigger
thing.
than Bali
Surrender, sacrifice, both are essentially the same thing. Yeah. So he offered himself complete surrender. That is what Atmanivedana. Yeah.
But I think
so when we
before that, like Prabhuji mentioned, he was doing a great yoga and maybe he was proud that he's helping a lot of people and to teach him like what is exactly surrender. Maybe he came as that boy and asked for like
three steps of
yeah. And then he realized, okay, this is I'm still proud, so God is like giving me
so during that
an
Dan
opportunity.
also, during that Dan also he had a hint of that
proudness.
Yeah.
Like total surrender means your humility should be.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's how we can describe, to show an example of complete surrender of bhakti, Atmanivedana. Yeah. Okay. And Sudhakar asked one thing, right? If Krishna appeared in several incarnations in India only, why only in India? And what about the people in other parts of the world, right? So let's look at what Prabhupada has written here. So Prabhupada says, it's not a fact that the Lord appears only on Indian soil. He can manifest himself anywhere and everywhere and whenever he decides to appear. In each and every incarnation, he speaks as much about religion as can be understood by the particular people under their particular circumstances. But the mission is that, the mission is same, to lead people to God consciousness and obedience to the principles of religion. Sometimes he descends personally, sometimes he sends bona fide representative in the form of his son, servant, or himself in some disguised form. So when all these avatars appeared in India, there are reasons, right? India is known as Punya Bhumi. It's a land of piety, and pious activities, where people performed a lot of pious activities. That's why God has chosen that place to appear. When he appears in Western countries like this place does not deserve God, to be received, right? This place does not deserve to receive God.
And also Asia or like India has a lot of population, so he can influence
Population.
I mean, Western countries have always been populated.
That's a good reason.
That is practical.
It's like somebody starting a business wherever the prospects are higher in a highly populated area.
No, African also, they are very unreligion, like African countries, right? They are very unreligion. Like, they don't have religion concept also. So
Yeah.
why God should help them also, right? Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter wherever God appears. So wherever God appears, he will send his representatives to spread about his message across the world. And that's what Prabhupada did, right? Prabhupada is an empowered soul, Shakti Avesh Avatara of the Lord, with a mission to spread Krishna's message throughout the world. And that's what Prabhupada did. Prabhupada spread Krishna consciousness in Africa also. Yeah.
Prabhuji, I guess.
But main is Lord Krishna, Vishnu. No,
I think somebody had a question here. 1 second.
So those incarnations have not happened.
Hmm?
So main is like Krishna and Rama, right?
Hmm.
From Vishnu mostly comes, right? Yeah.
From Krishna, not from Vishnu.
Yeah.
Maybe at that time the India's borders were much bigger, so we can.
Or there are no borders at the time.
Yeah, it could be bigger. Very.
Yeah, it's
even
one.
until, like,
It's one country, Bharatavarsha. It's one country, Bharatavarsha.
Very recently, even all the Afghanistan and Pakistan, they were all part of us, right? I mean, now it's divided and it's a very small piece, but it could be like.
Yeah, it's one Bharatavarsha, but again the question, right? Why only in that specific region of Bharatavarsha? Why not this region of Bharatavarsha? The reason is pious deeds. In that place, people perform pious deeds, so they are eligible to receive Krishna in that part. Okay.
And
Now,
also, I just read about the Bali Chakravarti. So Bali Chakravarti is an Asura king.
Yeah.
Who has conquered all the 3 worlds and was ruling. Out of his, he was being generous and was performing a yajna, and he was saying that I can, because I'm the king of 3 worlds, I can bestow anything to anyone.
Yeah.
Like with that proudness, he has conducted the yajna, and that's when Vamana, came and he asked for 3 steps, and he didn't know that. I mean, out of his proudness and pride, he just bestowed, okay, I'll give you 3 steps.
Yeah.
And that's when he expanded himself to like cosmic levels and killed him.
Yeah, he just assumed that that's an ordinary boy. And then when after first and second step, when Vamandev asks, where should I keep my third step? Then he offered himself and showed complete surrender. Yeah. Okay, so next shloka.
One more question.
Yeah.
Even this earthquake and tsunamis, all these places it happens in that. So in that place, that is like a religion is being disturbed, because why there some places it happens, because there is no religion is happening because of that.
Yeah. When the nature is exploited,
then
and religion is predominant, then Krishna gives some indications. Krishna gives warnings in the form of these Adi Bhautika calamities. Yeah. Adi Daivika. Yeah. Earthquake, tsunami, floods, all these things. That's an indication, warning that people are not following religion properly. That's why we see earthquakes happening mostly in Japan, those people, those areas.
So Adi Bhautik is out of those, like Adi Daivik is tsunami and all that. Adi Bhautik is about killing animals. Yeah.
Adi Bhautik is problems created by other living entities.
Living entities.
It can be a mosquito, or it can be, a bad neighbor. It can be in-laws. It can be.
Or it can be a wife.
It can be a spouse. Specifically wife.
I was pointing from
To be technically correct, wife. Okay. Next one. Next world famous shloka. Paritranaya 4.8 Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya, for the deliverance. Sadhunam, of the devotees. Vinashaya, for the annihilation. Cha, and Dushkrutam, of the miscreants. Dharma, principles of religion. Samsthapanarthaya, to re-establish. Sambhavami, I do appear. Yuge. Millennium. Yuge. After millennium. Okay. Now somebody can hear. Pooja, you want to read?
To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear, millennium after millennium. Purport. According to Bhagavad Gita, a sadhu, holy man, is a man in Krishna consciousness. A person may appear to be irreligious, but if he has the qualifications of Krishna consciousness wholly and fully, he is to be understood to be a sadhu. The Dushkritam applies to those who do not care for Krishna consciousness. Such miscreants or Dushkritam are described as foolish and the lowest of mankind, even though they may be decorated with mundane education, whereas a person who is 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness is accepted to be as a sadhu, even though such a person may be neither learned nor well cultured. As well as aesthetic are concerned, as far as aesthetics are concerned, it is not necessary for the Supreme Lord to appear as he is to destroy them, as he did with the demons, Ravana and Kamsa. The Lord has many agents who are quite competent to vanquish demons. But the Lord especially descends to, to appease his unalloyed devotees who are always harassed by demonic. The demons harass the devotee even though the latter may happen to be his kin. Although Prahlada Maharaja was the son of Hiranyakashipu, he was nonetheless persecuted by his father. Although Devaki, the mother of Krishna, was the sister of Kansa, she and her husband Vasudeva were persecuted only because Krishna was to be born to them. So Lord Krishna appeared primarily to deliver Devaki rather than kill Krishna. But both performed simultaneously. Therefore, it is said here that to deliver the devotee and vanquish the demon miscreants, the Lord appears in different incarnations. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita of
Krishnadas Kaviraja.
The following verses summarize these principles of the incarnation.
Yeah, you can skip the Sanskrit and read the English one.
The avatara or incarnation of Godhead.
Oh yeah, here there is some description of avatara. So let's read this. Yeah.
The avatars or incarnation of Godhead, descendants from the kingdom of God for material
manifestation. See, it's clear. The definition is clear. Definition of avatara, Prabhupada is describing, descends from the kingdom of God for material manifestation. Vyakta, something that we can see. Vyakta Rupa. Avyakta is unmanifest. Yeah, go ahead.
In the particular form of a personality of Godhead, who so descends is called an incarnation or avatara. Such incarnation are situated in the spiritual world, the kingdom of God. When they descend to the material creation, they assume the name
avatara. Yeah.
There are various kinds of avatars, such as
Purushavatara, Gunavatara, Leelavatara, Shakti-avesha avatara, Manvantara avatara, and Yuga avatara.
All appearing on schedule all over the universe. But Lord Krishna is the primeval Lord and foundation head of the avatars. Lord Sri Krishna descends for the specific purpose of mitigating the anxieties of the pure devotees who are very anxious to see him in his original Vrindavana pastimes. Therefore, the prime purpose of Krishna Avatara is to satisfy his alloyed devotees. The Lord says that his incarnation he incarnates himself in every millennium. This indicates that he incarnates also in the age of Kali. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the incarnation in the age of Kali is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who spreads the worship of Krishna by the Sankirtana movement, congregation chanting of the holy names, and spread Krishna consciousness throughout India. He predicted that his culture of Sankirtana would be broadcast all over the world, from town to town and village to village. Lord Chaitanya, as the incarnation of Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is described secretly but not directly in the confidential parts of the revealed scriptures, such as the Upanishads, Mahabharata, and Bhagavatam. The devotees of Lord Krishna are very much attracted by the Sankirtana movement of Lord Chaitanya. This avatar of Lord does not kill the miscreants, but delivers them by his causeless mercy.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So here Krishna is saying more details on the purpose of his appearance in the material world. Paritranaya sadhunam, that is one. Vinashaya chadushkrutam, that is two. Dharma samstapanarthaya, three reasons. Okay. About dharma, he already mentioned in the previous shloka, yada yada hi dharmasya. The same thing he is repeating here. So if you combine these two shlokas, in summary, Krishna appears for three reasons. Paritranaya sadhunam, to deliver his devotees. Vinashaya chadushkrutam, to kill the miscreants or demons. And third one is Dharma samstapanarthaya, to establish religion. Okay, three reasons. Now, does Krishna have to come personally to kill the demons? When Krishna came to kill Kamsa, or when Ramachandra came to kill Ravana and Kumbhakarna, or when Narasimhadev came personally to kill Hiranyakashipu, so does Krishna or does God have to come personally into the material world to kill? Not needed, right? Yeah, he can give heart attack from wherever he is. He can just give a heart attack and then that person will be dead. But Krishna comes personally and performs this act of killing demons to show his love for his devotees. To show his love for his devotees. Now let's say one of the parents, the child is in trouble. Okay. Now does the parent send somebody else, or does the parent sit in the office and send messages to protect the child? The parent will stop everything and personally go to protect the child. So that's what Krishna is doing. Krishna is showing his love that when my devotee is in trouble, I'll come personally to protect them. And Krishna tells this in 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the famous LIC shloka, right? Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Krishna says, Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I protect what my devotees have, and I provide what they lack. I provide what they lack, and I protect what they have. And Krishna says, I do this personally. There is a story of Yamunacharya, who was a devotee of Krishna. One day he was reading Bhagavad Gita along with his wife her name was Lakshmi. So when Yamunacharya was reading this verse in 9th chapter, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ejana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. This is there in Vishnu Sahasranama also, famous. So Yamunacharya got a doubt, saying that does the Lord actually personally come as he is saying here in this shloka? I don't think Lord will come personally. Maybe he'll send somebody. So he was thinking like that, and then he striked that line, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. He striked that line with some pen, and then it was time for lunch, to prepare lunch. So his wife Lakshmi says, "Can you go and get some vegetables, groceries from the market, so that I can prepare lunch?" So Yamunacharya goes out. And then meanwhile, two boys, they come with some baskets of groceries. And then they give it to Lakshmi. And Lakshmi asks who you are. And the two boys say that your husband only sent us. Your husband sent us with two baskets of groceries. In fact, he was beating us if we were not willing to carry these baskets here. Then Lakshmi, she got doubt. My husband is not like this. At least he never beat me. So he never beat me. So I don't believe that he would beat somebody like this. Then the two boys went on saying that, no, if you don't believe me, you see the proof. And then they showed their back. There is a line on the back of both boys. Then Lakshmi was really upset. Why did my husband do like this? And then after some time, the boys left, and Yamunacharya, he came home. And he also brought groceries. And Lakshmi says, no, you also brought groceries. You already sent groceries with those two boys, and already cooked the meal, and it's ready for lunch. And Yamunacharya asked, who are those two boys? I never sent anybody. Then Lakshmi explains the whole story, saying that in fact it looks like you beat those boys. They were not willing to carry the baskets, but you beat them very harshly. How could you do that? Then Yamunacharya was really, he was puzzled. I am sending two boys, that too I'm beating the boys if they're not willing to carry baskets. This is not me.
Maybe they delivered in the wrong home.
Huh?
Maybe the boys delivered in the wrong home.
What is that?
Wrong and delivered. Practical.
Delivered. DoorDash mistake.
The version of story I have heard is that the boy had cuts on his lips. So the wife asked what happened, and he said, your husband beat me up.
Yeah.
And so he realized that I like Krishna's Vani, because I checked it out.
On the lips.
And mouth.
Okay. Yeah. So then after Lakshmi explained the whole story to Yamunacharya understood everything, saying that these two boys are none other than Krishna and Balaram. So my Lord is showing a proof that he personally takes care of the devotees. I was actually doubting him. And those two lines on the back of those two boys are in the other version that she is describing, right? On the lips of those two boys. So it is an indication that when Yamunacharya striked off those two lines in Bhagavad Gita, that's why the Lord took those two striking marks as marks on his back. So this way we can see that Lord appears personally and protects us. In fact, the Lord does this to each one of us. Now, when the Lord does this, he does not say, "Hey Srikant, I'm protecting you." He does not say like that, right? When the Lord says, "Hey Srikant, I'm giving you a job at Microsoft," he does not say that. He does not say explicitly like that, but he's doing all these things. And which one is better?
Doing rather than validate.
Huh?
Doing is better than getting validation.
No. I'm not asking that. Which one is better? Doing something without telling is better, or telling and doing it
Without telling.
without telling, right? That is the real love. That is the real love. So, and that is what Krishna is doing to all of us. He's providing so many things. Huh? And he's protecting us from all dangers. This is an example. This is a proof that Krishna takes care of things personally.
At the same time, Prabhuji, this is also a lesson for us that we should also follow that, right? When we do good, we should not.
We should not expect any recognition. We should not expect anything in return. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that.
What is that?
In Microsoft, in order for us to show work that we have done, we have to write something called connect.
Okay.
Wherein we describe what we have done and how well we have done. So we deserve a raise or hike or promotions or whatever.
Who we
I
have
was just thinking that
who we have helped.
who we have helped. It's for benefit. Yeah. Expecting benefit.
Yeah. Or if Kunal shows job to Srikanth at Microsoft, to get the referral bonus, he has to say that I have showed him the job. Yeah.
Prabhu, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? His main teaching is Sankirtana, right?
Yeah.
To chant the holy names, right? So 4.7 says that when there is a decline in religion, I reappear, right?
Yeah.
So, but Chaitanya Prabhu, Krishna itself, he wants to understand the mood of Radha, and he incarnated as Rasa, right? But there is no decline in the religion, and how can we expect this one?
Yeah. So there was some religion, but not very prominent. As Krishna is describing, whenever there is glani of religion, glani of dharma. Glani means it's a big thing, predominant rise of irreligion. So during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time, the irreligion was not so predominant. There were Jagai Madai, those people were there.
As far as I understand, that's why Advaita Acharya revoked called him, right? Because there was so much, people were so much into Karam Kanda, people were not following religion, people were doing this Bali thing, they were following this Bali to the Durga. So it was so much irreligion going around, that's why Advaita Acharya revoked him, that he needs to come.
That is a external reason.
We all know the internal reason.
For Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there are internal and external reasons. So that was an external reason. And in every avatara, when he comes, the main purpose is to deliver the devotees, to give some attraction to the devotees, to give some relishment to the devotees by performing some leelas. He wants to attract people towards Krishna.
Last year in your class, you said the main reason he comes is to experience the love of the devotee.
That is for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
No, for every avatar, you said.
Not to experience.
Last year we talked about is that do you really think he comes to deliver the, same question you asked, do you really think he comes to kill these demons?
Yeah.
So he can do it. He don't need to come.
Yeah.
He actually comes to experience the love that Yashoda Mai or here in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Radharani.
Yeah.
He actually comes to experience that love and belonging.
Both to give love and to experience love. Okay. So primarily to give love. Okay. Because to receive love, he's receiving love in spiritual world also. But people in the material world, they are bereft of Krishna's love. So when Krishna comes and performs those leelas, seeing those leelas, will be attracted towards him. So paritranaya sadhunam, that is the meaning of paritranaya sadhunam. So to deliver the sadhus, to deliver the devotees. But while he is coming for that main purpose, he does the secondary job of killing the demons also. And in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Leela, he did not use any weapons. He did not kill any miscreants. He did not kill any demons. So, if what Advaitacharya prayed, because of that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, if that was the main reason, there would be some killing.
No, the main reason was because he wants to understand the love of God.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to,
the irreligion.
Theory also that because there was also a lot of this thing.
Yeah, there was some irreligion, but not as predominant as what was happening in, for example, Hiranyakashipu, right? Hiranyakashipu, he was controlling the demigods also. Indra was a servant in his home. So now you can imagine the height of irreligion that time. So here in Kali Yuga, during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time and before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, people were not practicing bhakti, but it was not, the irreligion was not so predominant.
No, I think before that is God's will, right? Krishna's want to.
He wants to appear.
Yeah, appear.
Yeah.
It's not because of religion is bad or something. Right? Yeah, I don't know how to explain that one, but yeah.
So it is both. It is both. Krishna. It will happen only at Krishna's will. That is what Prabhupada also writes. Krishna can appear not only on Indian soil, but Krishna can appear anywhere and everywhere at his own will.
Yeah.
He wrote that, at his own will. But that desire of Krishna, that will of Krishna will be based on the situation. If Krishna has to come and give some relishment to the devotees to attract them so that they can come back to spiritual world, he will come. Or if he sees his devotees are being tortured, like Kamsa was torturing Krishna's devotee Devaki. So that's why he appeared.
But Prabhuji,
Mm-hmm.
When he's fulfilling, I mean, he's doing help without telling or without telling, with telling or without telling, is it okay, Prabhuji? But when it is not happening something or helping, definitely will not convince with that answer. No, he's not talking or he's not telling means. Positive means okay. What
Yeah.
For example, you are telling.
Not seeing any help in our life.
But we are not getting. That time we will search for, we'll see for something answer from Krishna. No? For example, you are telling Kamsa and some example. I don't know whether can I mention this example or not. Recently we heard like so many Hindus are affecting, no?
Yeah.
So that situations, how can we convince? How can we convince God is not? Why God is not helping in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
So positive is okay. He's helping means we don't want. We can't expect whether he's when we are not able to, or when we are a helpless situation.
Yeah.
In that situation, how can we convince ourselves?
Yeah. So we discussed this point several times, especially during DYS time. Why do bad things happen to good people? So it's nothing but karma. It's nothing but karma of those people. Joint karma actually. Okay, when group of people are dying at the same time in the same place, it's a group karma that is involved. So yeah, one word answer, it's karma. What about an incident, where innocent children in a school are getting killed by some terrorist or somebody?
Yeah.
So that is even worse than what has happened recently in Kashmir. So it is nothing but karma. See, there are only three possibilities. Whenever we see things like this, there are only three plausibilities. One is karma, second one is time, because with time everything deteriorates. Okay, and the third one is Krishna's plan. Now, people suffering or people dying because of karma, that we all understand. It's very easy. Okay. Now, let's say a person has done all good deeds in the previous lifetime, this life also, everything is good only, nothing bad. So he should always enjoy. He should always be happy and enjoy, right? Because of so many punya karma, so much of punya karma, so many good deeds in this life, he should always be happy and always enjoy, and technically he should live eternally, right? He should live young and he should never die. But is that happening? No. With time, everything deteriorates, and that person also dies. Even though he has done so many good deeds in this lifetime and in the previous lifetimes, he will also die. So time is another factor which deteriorates things and forces people to go through all the problems, old age, disease, and death. And other than time and karma, it is Krishna's plan. Like we have seen now, many devotees of Krishna, they suffered. Pandavas, they are devotees of Krishna, but they suffered. Prahlada is a devotee of Krishna, but he suffered. Why? It is not because of karma, it is not because of time, it is Krishna's plan. It is Krishna's plan so that he tests the determination or patience of that person in bhakti, and also to set an example for others. So these are the only three factors. Whenever some bad things happen, these are the only three things: Kala, karma, and Krishna's plan. When Yudhishthira Maharaj, after the Mahabharata war ended, he was feeling great regret. They won the battle. Pandavas, they won the battle. But Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was feeling great regret in his heart, saying that because of me, so many people have died. Just because I have to take up the throne, I have to sit on the throne of Kuru dynasty, so many, thousands of people have died. So then Bhishma Dev pacified him, saying that it's only Krishna's plan. You don't have to worry. It's not because of you. You're not the cause of the death of all these people. Don't worry. It's because of Krishna's plan only. And then Bhishma Dev pacified Yudhishthira Maharaj to take up the kingdom. So, and the other details that are mentioned in the purport, we already discussed them. The different avatars, Guna Avatara, Leela Avatara. There is one Yuga Avatara. Yuga Avatara we discussed, right? The Krishna Avatara, as Krishna, he appears once in a day of Brahma. Once in a day of Brahma.
I have a question. In the purport it is written that and Dushkritam applies to those who do not care about Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
So, and they are described as foolish and lowest of the mankind. So, Krishna consciousness just means the bhakti of Krishna.
Yeah.
So, how about those people who are doing bhakti of other demigods? So,
how about those people who are doing bhakti?
Of other demigods. Like they are doing
worshipping demigods.
Worshipping demigods, like somebody is worshipping Ganesha, somebody is worshipping Devi.
Yeah.
So they are not sadhu, or the Christians who are who praise to Jesus. I know he is son of Lord.
Yeah, they are also considered sadhus because Krishna tells in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, saying that people who worship demigods, they are indirectly worshipping me only. Because why does anyone want to worship demigods? To get some material benefits. And where do the demigods get the power to give those benefits? From Krishna only. So Krishna says that whoever is worshipping demigods, they are actually worshipping me, and I let those people worship demigods to develop faith. By worshipping demigods, slowly they will increase faith in me. Now that is a better stage compared to somebody not worshipping anybody. If somebody is worshipping demigod, that means they are accepting that authority. For example, Ganesha, somebody wants some material benefit. They are accepting authority and they want some material benefits for their happiness. So eventually they will come to an understanding that it is actually coming, the power of Ganesha to bestow these material benefits is actually coming from Krishna only. After some purification, they will come to that understanding. So they are also considered sadhus.
Prabhu, like Hanuman is devotee for Rama, right? I think he done fullest, right? He don't need to do other things to worship Krishna again one more time, right? Like, because he already worshipping Rama.
Yeah.
I think he attained fully all the spiritual knowledge, whatever he has got, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't need to again specially worship Krishna or someone else, right? Is it required? I was asking you.
After achieving perfection, is it required?
Rama, right?
Is it required to worship?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is still required. The process and goal are same here. So there is a nice story of Ramadasu. Okay.
Asking about Hanuman.
Like,
yeah, I know.
Suppose I want to become enlightened, right?
Yeah.
So I think, so like for example, Hanuman, right? He worshipping Rama.
Yeah.
I think Rama definitely will give liberation to Hanuman, right?
Yeah.
Then he achieved the goal, right?
Yeah.
There is no highest goal after the liberation, right? Liberation is the highest goal. There is no other goal after that, right?
Yeah. Liberation means to attain God.
God, right?
Yeah.
I think once he attained Rama,
yeah,
then I don't need to go and come back and worship Krishna again.
Yeah. So I'll tell you a small story to explain that. So Sri Ramadasu, we all, especially Telugu people, we all know about him. He's a great devotee of Lord Ramchandra. So we all know the story how Ramadasu was kept in a jail because he kept a parrot in a cage, and then eventually he was kept in a jail, and then after struggling in the jail for some time, he offers a lot of prayers, and eventually Ramchandra appears. When Ramchandra appears, Ramchandra asks Ramadasu, saying that I'm very pleased with your devotion. You please come to Ayodhya Loka. Then Ramadasu asks, O Prabhu, how does Ayodhya Loka look like? What is the description of Ayodhya Loka? What is there in Ayodhya Loka? Then Ramchandra says that there is all happiness in Ayodhya. You don't have to do anything there. There is all happiness in Ayodhya. Ramadasu asks, can I perform bhakti? Can I sing the kirtans? Can I chant your name? Can I read your katha? Can I hear your katha? Ramchandra says, this is all not required. Sarcastically he says, this is all not required. You have already done all this. That's why you don't have to do anything after you come there. You have already done this. You achieved perfection. I'm pleased with your devotion. That's why I appeared in front of you. Now you come there and you just relax. You just chill. Then Ramadasu says, what kind of loka is that, Prabhu? Where is happiness in that? If I cannot do your worship, if I cannot chant your name, if I cannot hear your glories, what kind of loka is that? I don't want to come there. So then the Lord Ramchandra is even more pleased and takes him back to Ayodhya Loka. So the message is, even after you achieve perfection, this is what...
No, we will do perfection there also.
Yeah.
I'm saying, what is the highest goal I want to achieve, right? As a human being, we have some goal, right, to achieve.
Okay, let's say in your company, you get promoted to CEO. Will you not do anything?
Of course you do.
Yeah. So, yeah. See, the purpose is to serve the Lord. That is the goal. That is the perfection. The perfection of any religion is to love God. And what is love? What is the definition of love? Love means to serve. So whatever we are doing here is a practice. It's a practice of loving. The actual service begins when we go to spiritual world. Whatever you are cleaning in the kitchen, that's only practice. So you'll have tons of dishes in Goloka when you go there.
I don't want to stop in between. I want to go highest, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying if I worship Rama, I thought that is highest.
That is highest.
For Hanuman, he is highest. Right?
Yeah.
Even if I worship, I think I get highest in spiritual knowledge. Right?
Yeah.
Something like perfection or something.
Yeah.
So some people say like if you worship Brahma, right? Something, you still not attain perfection, you will fall down and then you have to do something. Again, right? Some stories we hear.
If
right?
you reach Brahman platform,
Yeah, Brahman
then you have to fall down. Yeah.
again. But if I choose Rama, and if Rama appears to me,
Yeah.
then I attain perfection, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will do kirtan there also, but I'm saying, yeah.
God appeared here, God is
So if I choose, like, my question
See,
is.
once you achieve perfection, you cannot stay without serving God. You cannot stay without serving God. So the service and jiva, they are inseparable. In spiritual world, service and service and jiva, they are inseparable. Seva and jiva, they are inseparable. Just like sugar and sweet, they are inseparable.
So Sadhguru will fall down now, right? Definitely.
Sadhguru is already fell down. He's already a fallen soul. What is? He has to rise above. He has to rise above.
No, I was choosing like Krishna, Rama, and Brahma, right? Because so I can go anywhere, not Brahma, but I can choose any of the Krishna or Rama, right?
Yeah.
To attain perfection. Then I won't fall down again.
Yeah. Yeah, basically you have to choose Bhakti Marga. You have to choose Bhakti Marga and develop devotion for God. Love and devotion for God. And do some devotional service. Not just devotion. In India, this is a misconception, right? Devotion means bhakti. You just need to have some feeling, that's all. If you have some feeling of bhakti for God, that is enough. But it is only Prabhupada who first gave the definition of devotion as devotional service. He translated this word bhakti as devotional service. Before that, this term was never heard. Devotional service was never heard. We only hear bhakti like that.
I have a question related to what the previous question. So if somebody likes Devi or Ganesha, as you mentioned, they are loving and they are serving others, then they'll again have to take a birth and come serve Krishna, or that
They have
service.
to. Yeah. So all these people who worship devatas, uh, they develop faith. They develop some kind of faith, but it's not faith on Krishna.
Yeah,
Krishna
because
is
I know
seventh
some people,
but,
they're really like, they not for gaining something, but really they love the demigods.
yeah, still.
Yeah, still they are, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the mere reason of worshipping demigods is to get material benefits only. There's no other agenda. There's no pure love for demigods. Yeah, there's no pure love.
Because in
Why
like
would
Shaivites,
why would anybody worship Varuna Dev?
no, like Shiva, many people they like Shiva devotees are there.
Shiva is not demigod. Shiva is not demigod. Yeah, Shiva's position is almost like Krishna. It's almost like Shiva is almost like supreme.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And one more question I had, like you told on sloka, right? Like 4 expansion, like Krishna, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha.
Yeah.
So why we have included Pradyumna and Aniruddha? Are they also expand? Because we know they are characters in Mahabharata, but they have got like that much status. First time I'm hearing from that sloka.
No. These are not the characters in Mahabharata. So it just happened that the characters in Mahabharata also have those names, but the Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, the Chaturvyuha expansions, they are different.
I didn't know about that, Prabhuji. I thought they are characters from Mahabharata.
No, they are different.
I think for Lord Ganesha, I think he has a capability not to grant no rebirth for you. If you worship him fully, right? And if he appears, I think he grant for you no rebirth no rebirth for you. He can grant that. He has power, I think.
So what about Brahma?
Even Brahma has, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so Hiranyakashipu asked Brahma. Hiranyakashipu did tapas for thousands of years and asked Brahma. So Brahma appeared. Hiranyakashipu asked, give me immortality. You know what Brahma said? I myself, I am not immortal. How can I give you immortality? I myself, I am subject to birth and death. Birth, death, old age and disease. So how can I grant you moksha or liberation or immortality?
Is Rama can give?
Then Hiranyakashipu said, okay, if you cannot give immortality, then give me that bone where I cannot be killed neither during daytime nor night time, not by human, not by animal, and so on. Brahma said, yes, I can, that much I can fulfill. Yeah, Rama can give.
Rama.
Yeah.
No Ganesha can give. Ganesha? How about Ganesha?
Yeah, Ganesha also cannot give. Yeah.
Shiva also can give. Lord Shiva can give. Rama can give. Krishna.
See, if Rama can give, then why you need to look for anywhere else? If Krishna can give, what is the need for looking somewhere else? See, if you can get, if you can buy something on Amazon, why do you need to go somewhere else?
Shiva is Bhola Shankar. He'll give very quickly.
Yeah, it's very easy, right?
Shiva is Bhola Shankar,
But he always keeps a twist in that or Shiva and Vishnu or Krishna are in agreement. Okay, you give the boon, but I'll make sure that it doesn't manifest and give eternality to a wrong person kind of thing.
So have you heard of any stories where somebody like Sudhakar asking Shiva for liberation and Shiva out of his Bhola Shankar quality giving liberation very quickly?
Not liberation, Prabhuji. I mean eternality. I mean if we talk, immortality. If we come to think of it, like one of
same thing, right? Liberation, immortality, same thing.
Yeah, Bhasmasura is one of the famous stories.
Yeah.
He asks for immortality and prays to Ishvara himself.
Yeah.
Shiva, and what he says is that not immortality, but more like on whosever head I keep my hand, they'll
be destroyed.
They should turn into ashes.
Yeah.
And of course, Shiva says yes, sure, have that boon.
Yeah.
And he actually.
And finally, what happened? He himself got destroyed, right?
Yeah.
So where is immortality there?
Yeah, I mean Shiva.
Prabhuji, sorry for interrupting. Markandeya story.
Mesmerizes that Bhasmasura.
Yeah.
And it acts like he's dancing with him, and instead of putting hand on someone else's, Mohini does put her hand on her head, and he also does the same, and he dies instantly.
Yeah. So my question is, where is immortality there?
What we are saying is that Shiva easily grants boons compared to like Vishnu.
He may grant material boon. I mean, even that also, I have heard Shiva is Bola Shankar. Even if you offer a Bilva Patra, he will grant boons. Have you seen personally happening?
Even Professor, you do bhakti to Shiva, right?
See, that is mentioned just to instill some bhakti in people. Have you seen anybody praying to Shiva and getting boons just like that, very quickly?
Not just like that. I mean, they also did like lot of.
I mean, easily.
Easily. I mean, in general, there are a lot of stories of.
If you meet a true Shiva Bhakta, and if he says that, if he do that things for you, like if you do this, this will happen, and if you do this, those ritual for you, things happen. That for sure.
A Shiva Bhakta.
Yeah, for Shiva. Yeah, but he has to be truly Shiva Bhakta.
Yeah. But I think the main point we are making is that truly Bhakt.
Truly Bhakti.
The same thing can happen with Vishnu Bhakta also. Yeah.
I think that is the main point.
Then why do they say that Shiva gives boons very quickly?
Because he is easy to please. That's what they say. Krishna is not easy to please.
Krishna, actually, what we also discussed in previous classes, like Krishna first purifies us. I mean, he tests us.
Yeah.
Like there are many chances
even
that
Shiva
we'll fall
also.
down.
Shiva is a devotee of Krishna. He is the best Vaishnava of all.
No mode of ignorance.
I
Right? That's
heard
why
that
he
Shiva is
easily.
always into.
He doesn't know what you do.
Always remember Krishna and Vishnu, right? He's always into his meditation.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be disturbed.
He doesn't want to be disturbed. Like, le lo, chalo, lo, aur aage बढ़ो, disturb mat karo.
Yeah.
That's why he's easy to please.
When we say, right, Shiva is easy to please and the boon, to come into that platform, that it becomes easy. That coming into that platform to get boon easily also is tough, right? I mean, we are saying that it is
Even
easy to get boon from Shiva compared to Krishna.
Yeah.
But you have to be eligible, and that eligibility itself is tough.
Say, we all heard this, saying that, Shiva doesn't want to be disturbed, when he's chanting Rama's name. That's why he gives boons quickly. But my question is, have you seen practically happening?
Like all the asuras usually pray to Shiva and eventually fall down, of course. But Ravanasura was also praying to Shiva. He was a great Shiva.
See, Shiva is a devotee of Krishna, best Vaishnava. All these things are, they became popular just to instill bhakti in people. That's all. That is the main agenda. And if some people have popularized these things for their, benefits, some pujaris might have propagated this, just for their own material benefits. If people do a lot of worship, if they come to them and participate in the worship of Shiva, they get some dakshina, maybe some personal benefits. Somebody might have propagated this. But the main purpose is to instill bhakti in people. Yeah. If you ask Shiva for Krishna bhakti, yes, that he will give quickly. Yeah. That should be the message. He will definitely give. He will give.
When Shiva become happy,
Nobody knows that.
direct you to Krishna.
Yeah.
When he really become happy.
Yeah. So then that way he is Bola Shankar. That way he is really Bola Shankar. If you pray to Shiva,
No, if you want to read. No, continue.
it's 2:09. We can continue the discussion during lunch. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad
Hare Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.